Well, hello.
Welcome to Release Notes. This is an important episode. Breaking news: Gradient Gate is upon us. I tried to have a peaceful weekend, but you motherfuckers had to lose your minds over gradients. I don't even know something about pump.fun meme coins. Somehow the Gaza Strip got involved.
Whoa.
I don't even know. And design shows ended.
Design shows ended.
Design shows ended.
Design shows ended. And that kind of sucks because I like seeing more design shows.
I was enjoying the design show.
Are we a design show?
No.
What are we?
No, but we are a show that designers probably get value out of. But we are a show, Tommy, just to make sure we're on the same page and I'm not ambiguous. We are a show about builders, designers, and all the exciting things happening in the space right now, heavily influenced by the exciting things happening in AI.
Yeah, I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
Sign me up. We start today? Today is
All right,
Tuesday.
well, today's Tuesday.
Why
our
are we
first
live on
episode.
Tuesday, Hunter?
Because we're going live on Tuesdays. Typically 1 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Fridays. Today's going to be a 1-hour show. We had a plan for you all, but then some stuff happened, and now we got to talk about it, unfortunately, much to my chagrin. Audience, I need you to know a truth. Tommy and I met about 15 minutes prior to this show, and he started telling me his take on the whole Brett, Dan, whatever else it is. I said, no, stop. I don't want to know your take. I want to find out live what you think about this, and I will also let you find out live what I think about this. The only disclosure that I want to give, because I do have to give a disclosure, I did actually have an hour-long conversation with Brett on Friday about something totally unrelated before all this drama kicked off. We've texted about some other stuff here and there over the weekend unrelated to this because frankly, I think this is dumb on multiple levels. But I'm gonna quiet up. Tommy, you are designer Tom, million followers across social. People respect you. You're a man of the community. What do you think about this whole thing? And did you watch Brett's live stream?
I did. I tuned in and I wanted to hear what was going on. I'm with you, man. One, I don't care about this. And I'll tell you why in a second. But two, you guys made me care about it. And it's fair because we have had Brett on recently and he's become a friend of the show. And so people were saying, hey, like, if there's something going on, you guys should probably speak up. And I said, God damn it. Okay, let me look into it and actually see, like, what do I think happened here? Right? I wanted to see this. I like Brett. I kind of gave a take, which was, I'm not going to assume bad intent, but I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So we're going to look at that. I want to let you know, though, I've got some experience in this area. All right. Years ago, when I first met my wife, we took a couple of mushrooms at a cabin in Sedona and we painted a gradient together. And I thought this was a hell of a piece of artwork here. So I've hand painted gradients myself. So I am an expert on the matter. And I hope you'll take seriously what I'm about to share with you. Okay. This is essentially the origin of this drama. For everyone who actually has a job, has a life, isn't paying attention to this stuff, let me fill you in on something you probably don't care about. Brett from Design Joy, all right, made a post about some Japanese gradients. I actually do have the post here, and I'm only pulling it up. He did delete this. I'm only pulling it up because I used this to take a look at some of these gradients, right? And it's just, Brett's been sharing some wonderful resources. And on this day, 4 days ago, he shared Japanese gradients, trademark symbol, pack. Bunch of cool gradients, right? Okay. He posts this. What gets posted a bit later by Joseph Alessio says, come on, man. And he's just resharing Brett's gradient pack. Dan Petty asks, what's going on? And so Joseph shares his gradient pack that he made, and I'm not sure when this was made. There might be a date here somewhere, but before Brett's post is what the assumption is. And he's got some gradients, and these look like they're the same theme of gradients here. And so if you dig deeper, I think there's a I'm a big fan of remix culture, memes, and exploitables on the internet in general, but this is way too far. Somewhere around here, he talks about he's upset that basically this was packaged too similarly. The gradients are fine. I just think lifting the name right down to the trademark symbol and the mock-up right down to the angle are bad form. All right, so those are his takes. So it doesn't sound like he actually cares about the gradients. Sounds like he's upset about the packaging. So this kicks off. Dan Petty and Brett seem to have some exchanges. A couple of days go by. Dan Petty announces, "Hey, we're ending the stream. It's not happening," and goes on to give his take about Brett. I don't have that pulled up right at the minute. Brett goes live today, says, "Actually, I broke up with him first. Here's what happened, and I respect Dan, but I'm also really upset about the whole situation." Right?
Broke up with him
This is
first.
the TLDR. That's where we're at. Guys, this is the only 10, 15-minute block that Hunter and I are going to give attention to this thing, and then we're going to move on. But we're going to slump for a second. We're going to talk about it. This is what I did. I went and bought the gradient pack. All right. I grabbed Brett's screenshot. So I didn't see the actual Figma file, but I took a number of screens here from his promo. All right. I went and grabbed all of these. I mean, I asked Brett, by the way, too. I said, "Hey, is this true?" Said no. I give him the benefit of the doubt. But you guys said, "Hey, you guys are enabling this stuff." So I said, "Well, let me look and see." Hey, let's play mix and match here for a second. All right. Went and paid for these. All right, Alessio, grabbed your gradient pack. Really neat, by the way. And I'm having a hard time matching gradients up, right? Like this is probably pretty close. Maybe if we whoops, maybe if we flip that. What's my shortcut for flipping again? There we go. I don't know. Doesn't really seem like it's much. So the point is these Japanese gradient themes. Let me see. Can we see one of these? No. Call it out
Tommy,
in chat.
I did not expect this level of CSI out of you today.
Here we go.
How much was this gradient pack?
$6, and it's a neat gradient pack. Go check it out. You know.
Can I ask a question though? Really important question. Okay. Now, for those that might be tuning in for the first time, I am what I often joke about. I'm a recovering designer. I haven't actually designed anything in a few years now. I would say that I play more of a shitty creative director role these days. But I'm a business guy. I'm a capitalist. I'm a free market economy kind of man. But even I'm wondering, who in the fuck buys gradients? Like, I can just open up a rectangle and start messing around with gradients. Like, who's making gradients to sell and who's buying them?
I bought these fractal maze gradients.
Oh boy. Okay. So this is the thing. So people make gradients to sell. People buy them. Now, let me make sure I get this. Like, explain this to me. Like, I'm not a design Twitter troll. Okay. So Brett, okay, goes and he's been popping off. He's been going on Twitter lately, just going viral left and right. I complimented him. I think even on the show recently, I said, "Hey, like you've done a great job of avoiding controversy, and you're killing it on Twitter lately." And so let me get my math straight, just to make sure I understand. So Brett is trying to game Twitter growth. He's been posting great, like viral bait content to get as many eyeballs as possible. And I think Brett's math is that some small percentage of those eyeballs will be like, "Oh, maybe I should hire DesignJoy." They go to designjoy.com or .co, whatever it is. Maybe book call, maybe he gets customers. And I'm sure that that's worked well for him in terms of acquisition. So he's profiting indirectly from posting content on Twitter, right? But he didn't copy these gradients. He just kind of copied the presentation style or was inspired by it. Is that what we're saying here?
That's what it seems like, because in his comments here, if we look at Joseph's comments, it says he's fine with the gradients. I guess the hand orientation, the framing, that seems to be the argument. I also want to call out that I don't know if this was in response to this, but it was posted the same day in the same kind of proximity, that Fee from Perplexity posted a really wonderful breakdown of the origin of Japanese gradients from Japanese contemporary artist. I believe his name is pronounced Sho Shibuya. I'm probably terribly butchering that, but and I like this, and I think it's a great read. You can open up Perplexity and dig deeper into this. This style certainly has roots that date far back before Gumroad products were on sale.
I like, why does anybody fucking care? Like, I don't care about this. Why does anybody care about this? Why does anybody give this any oxygen?
Yeah, it's obviously something that people are flavor of the week paying attention to get mad about. But I did look into it, so I'm looking at these Figma references here. A couple gradients that are similar. When you look at the kind of origin of these gradients in general, it's a pretty distinct style, and I really like it. I actually appreciate that this whole thing's happening, just surfacing this visual aesthetic. I think this is cool. I haven't really paid attention to this one. But I would like to point designers to something that I think is really helpful. And it's Tom Scott's video he made about a year ago called Guide to Plagiarism. And he really breaks down the idea that there is a spectrum of remix culture. And on one side, there's plenty of things that are acceptable. Then it gets a bit gray in the middle. And then obviously on the right, you have things that are just completely unacceptable, like straight up theft. And I think he does a very good job in capturing the nuance that happens in creative work where it's not always inspiration being used or leveraged or even remixed too identically out of bad intent. And he goes on to say intent matters, and that unless proven otherwise, assume good intent and assume that it's a remix culture. But the problem with Brett, and this part I can understand, is that he has painted his persona as a bad guy at times on Twitter, and there are going to be people waiting for his downfall at every moment that they can pile on him. This is what I've observed. I have not known Brett very long, and I've not paid attention to his social media movement for very long either. I've actually only been on X for a few months now. But Brett seems to be, there is a group of people waiting to jump on him the minute he slips up. And it looked like this was just the new flavor of the week. And unfortunately, it had implications where, his design show has changed shape or it's discontinued. I recommend this to people. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that people are trying and just like in the wings waiting to just jump on a mob with the pitchforks out against Brett from Design Joy?
Oh, I don't know, man. I think I just think we're all a little soft and a little too entertained on some of this stuff. This stuff isn't big. The consequences, the stakes here aren't super high. This is the kind of thing that gets exciting in the design community, I think, and it's why I think this stuff is just so soft. I don't think it's really worth paying attention to.
I want to touch on something. While we've been sitting here, I asked my friend ChatGPT a question. I want to share this real quick here. Okay. So my question here for ChatGPT was, what can you tell me about rage culture, outrage culture, whatever the hell it's called, right? We got some interesting stuff here. Core insight: outrage culture, public shaming performed mostly on social platforms, fueled by moral anger and algorithmic rewards. It's a Northwestern 2024 study. Shout out Chicago. Anger is high arousal, low effort emotion that earns social rewards, likes, and dopamine hits. Platforms prioritize engagement. Outrage is sticky and keeps users scrolling. The rage farming flywheel. Societal upside: rapid accountability, amplification of marginalized voices, faster policy attention. These two definitely don't apply here. Societal downside: mob justice, collateral reputational damage, chilling of nuance, mental health harm for targets. There's two things in here that I think are really interesting. One is the chilling of nuance and mob justice, right? I guess what I saw this weekend as people were kind of like raging out against Brett, and by no means am I sitting here trying to defend Brett, because again, like, I want everybody to understand, I don't give a flying fuck what Brett does on Twitter. I don't care. I'm not his dad. Like, I don't care what he does. I don't know why anybody concerns themselves with these things. But what matters more to me is the fact that people just jump on without ever doing any research. They don't try and say like, oh, did Brett actually, try and do a rug pull on crypto, or was he hacked? Right.
Right.
I saw a lot of people in the comments being like, "Oh, like you support babies being killed," and I'm like, "Dude, hold on. How did we go from gradients
Oh, you
to
were getting
that?"
attacked on this whole thing?
No, no. In Brett's comments to
Oh,
his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
post,
Okay.
people were jumping on that because he said he supported Israel at some point or whatever it is. Like, I don't care. Like, I just don't fucking care.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of attention being paid to this. I'm bummed it had some consequences that were permanent. So I hope those who were looking for that are pleased with that. I think that's kind of lame. But I also think, this isn't the stuff that I personally want to promote all the time. Now, I will say this. There was an opportunity here, a moment in this whole thing, unrelated to this particular, where one of my favorite designers and Brett were potentially, it looked like might have a little bit of a public spar off in the design. And I made a tweet and I said, listen, all this yapping on the internet, you designers who are beefing, get rid of it. Meet in the streets and let the work speak for itself. And that's what I'm all about. I have no problem being a little bit of the drama instigator if it leads to cool spectacle where we get to see talents face off. That is an ultimate win. It's a little reality cheap TV. I acknowledge that, but it's fun, man. And it's cool because it exposes people's processes in really interesting ways. So anytime there's something going on, I'm going to be right behind there going, he thinks you're a bitch. Hey, we'll host it. We're happy
Dude,
to do it.
so what happened to that? Because we're talking about Nick Pattison from Primary Studio, and Nick called out Brett. Brett recalled out Nick. I said, "Let's go." Brett said, "I'm into it," and Nick never responded. Is Nick not into this?
Here's what I'll say about it. To be respectful to friends who maybe aren't interested in being a part of the drama, recognize that maybe what he put out wasn't the kind of energy he wanted out there. Decided to say, I'm okay, guys, and I appreciate that. I can respect it. It's easy to get roped up into some of this, but
So
hey,
hold on.
that's
So
what
Nick and Brett are not going head to head.
it's not happening. No, not
So,
currently.
so we need as okay. Look, I don't want to say we because I'm tired of putting myself in this fucking group. So you design Twitter community, like put up or shut up. Either go head to head. We will host it. We will facilitate it. We will be fair judges. We will make sure that it gets a public vote. Look what we did for Brett versus Henrik, man versus machine. We'll take care of you. All right. We will take your beef and turn it into the world's entertainment. But if you're not willing to do that, then shut the fuck up. No more responding to each other. No more tweeting beef at each other. Just stop. Okay. Full
I
stop.
think
Like
I think
ignore the
I think
person,
that's yeah.
block them. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, listen, like I take theft very seriously. You heard my rant a couple of weeks ago about this. The guy that I was ranting about, I didn't go make a big public spectacle of him. I got him nuked off of X. That dude's account is gone because he was genuinely stealing from the framer community. That guy was like doing real harm. Fuck that guy. I didn't come out and make a spectacle and a big tweet about it. I mean, I just said, hey, fuck this dude. And he got his ass nuked off of X. Like that's fine. We'll take care of those people. You guys got a little bit of beef, some disagreements, some of this gray area stuff. Let's go. Let's put it to the test. Let's have some fun with it and show the rest of the people, hey, like this is what craft looks like. Let's duke it out.
It's fair. Cool.
Yeah.
Look, hey guys, between us, Tommy and I have practically 10 kids. So, let us do our dad thing.
That's
All
true.
right,
That is some truth.
can we talk about something that actually I really do care about?
Yes.
I want to talk about this real quick. All right, gonna click into this real quick. So Jeff Sheldon, Jeff from Ugmonk, somebody tweet him right now. Let him know that I'm talking about him. Okay. This might be opening up a can of worms, but here's my current situation. I love designing products. Our customers genuinely love our products, and we have super passionate fan base. We've struggled to find a consistent way to acquire new customers. Meta ads used to work, but keep getting worse. We're a small team of 3 and completely bootstrapped. We are currently 99% direct to consumer. I'm not looking for fast growth or huge scale, but trying to find a steady way to cover OpEx and keep the lights on so I can focus my time on bringing new products to market. What would you do if you're in my shoes? And he said a little more context. We've sold tens of thousands of analog kits these past few years on Kickstarter, organic channels, and paid social profitably. We haven't changed the price or the product, but what used to work to acquire new customers no longer works. our already high United States manufacturing costs, Ugg Monk is designed and made in the US, have gone up every year, squeezing what's left of our margin even slimmer. The math isn't mathing anymore. This makes me so sad, dude, because
I wanna
I,
I wanna yeah, go ahead.
as I say, I love Jeff. I love Ugg Monk. I literally like this is hold on. Like Ugg Monk products are some of my absolute favorite things. Like I just changed from a walnut desk to a white oak desk, and I had to rebuy all the shit I already
You
had
rebought all your
just to
Ugg
get it
Monk to be on
just to get
theme?
it in a different wood tone. I was like, Jeff, I'm placing an order, baby. I love it. All of our team members have Ugg Monk. I just absolutely love the quality. I'm sure that almost everybody watching this show right now probably owns Ugg Monk or is a fan of Ugg Monk, and our guys suffering. And that bums me out to see such a great, like, quality driven, thoughtful business. Seeing a CEO, a founder, tweet out like things are getting tough. What do we do
That
as a
is
community to support that versus worrying about fucking gradients?
Yeah, and I love this, and this is what I wanna do right now. Let's buy something real quick here. And I want to
Hell
say this.
yeah.
I want to put Jeff in charge, or not in charge, in contact with Kevin Espiritu of Epic Gardening. I feel like the two of them. I feel
Yeah.
like he get some good D2C. So happy to do that, man. In the meantime, what's a good buy? I'm a first Ugg Monk customer here, guys.
Hold on.
What do we got?
Brett, you shut it. You got enough money. I don't want to hear shit. I want analog kits in each one of your houses. I want you to have the portable analog in your backpack ready to go.
Ooh, I like the complete kit. Let's see.
The thing is, it is expensive. Ugg Monk is expensive. I do have a rough idea of his margins because we've talked about it before, but it's not crazy. It's just expensive to make this stuff. Like he's
Mhm.
using solid walnut, solid white oak, really high quality materials, handmade in
Oh,
the
he's got the
U.S.
monitor stand,
Yes,
dude.
dude. Yes.
Oh, I
That's
mean
that's just what it costs to produce, Brett.
this is it. This is what I want. I've been
Yeah,
looking at these for a long time. I didn't know Ugg Monk made these. What?
yeah. These are great, dude. They're magnetic. They're sick.
How big
So
is this one?
the accessories they like magnet and stick to the stand. It's really great. Riley here says buy the pens. I agree with that. The pens are great. I have one right here. Right here. He did a
And
collab with
just
Inventory.
so you guys know, we are not at all sponsored by Ugg Monk here.
No, we're not
I didn't
sponsored.
even know we were going to talk about this.
Yep. I want to talk
This
about it.
is, I'm buying one of these. This is
Work
sick,
Louder
dude.
says straight up, it's a bad time to be a small business in the US right now.
Work
I
Louder, by the
also
way. Awesome keyboards. I cannot
awesome
wait for
keyboards.
your Framer collab.
I have a Work Louder keyboard. It's not my day-to-day driver, but I do have one. Support Work Louder. Huge fan. I can't do the ortholinear though. The ortholinear gets me. I'm not gonna make the switch.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome. And bummed to hear designers, small businesses struggling, man. That's the kind of thing that I love to try and put on. Actually, I'm going to make a note. A little shout out in the newsletter.
Little shout out for Ugg Monk. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Huh? You do one, I'll do one.
All right. I'm in.
All right.
I'm
All
in.
right. All of our sponsors right now are like, hold on, you're doing slots for free? No.
Hey, man.
Okay.
I want
All
a
right.
small business. Okay.
Small business.
I got a bleeding heart for small businesses.
Is Framer a small business?
No, not anymore. No.
Uh-uh.
But they are true to the mission, man. They are one of the few design companies really out there investing into the community. And that's the thing, dude. Like all the stuff that we do and that I'm doing with UX tools. Yeah, dude, I'll totally platform some of the fun drama in an effort to put a spectacle together for the community. And guess what? The money we make from that, we do profit from in addition to spreading around the rest of the community. And that to me is like a really sustainable, exciting thing to be a part of for 20 years. Something that just continues to give back and to showcase designers who are not getting all of the love. Anyway, that's a mission that I'm really excited about, and that's why I love seeing how can we help companies that have moments of struggle like Ugmonk, you know?
Yep, I agree. I think we should have Jeff on here.
Let's do it. Heck yeah. I'd be actually
You would talk about your show.
Let's talk about it, but you know what would be cool? To have a couple of physical like designers with products, like getting Mike from Work Louder up here to talk a little bit about the keyboard process. Getting that's a good idea because there's a lot of
Mike,
questions I have in that.
You've been tagged. You're coming.
Yeah, cool. The show. Yeah. All right. So we've got I am producing. I've had this vision for a long time. I just know a lot of really fantastic talents. I don't know why these people like to communicate with me, but they won't stop. So I keep doing it. And I realize these people have incredible processes or just talent for creating really great work. And I'm talking everyone from like some of the best tattoo artists in the world to some of the best designers in the world. And I constantly look at all of these creative disciplines and I'm asking myself, how, we're all saying taste, like taste is important, but how do the heavyweights, how did they develop their taste and how are they employing their taste today? Like, what does that actually look like outside of a Twitter post? What does taste actually look like? And that's been something that's just been in the back of my head for years now. And then as my network has really opened up, I started to just kind of say, hey, would you let me follow you around for a couple of days to record you through a cycle of creation, right? I want to see something come to life. And then people started saying yes. And so we got to a place where this June we were shooting our first episode. I'm investing a pretty hefty chunk of change of my own money. It's going to be about a $20,000.
$50,000.
No, I'm not there yet. 20K is what I can afford, and that's still scary. But it's going to get us.
Can we pause? Can we pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
I want to touch on this real quick. So just to make sure I understand this clearly, you're spending $20,000 out of your own pocket without any sponsors lined up to shoot this show, the first episode. Can we say who's on it?
Not yet, but soon.
Not yet. But a very prominent, well-respected designer. And you're spending $20,000, 20,000. How long is this episode going to be?
About 22 minutes runtime.
So probably $1,000 a minute.
Whew.
And you're just going to put this on YouTube for the community. I mean, hello.
I mean, hey man, if Mr. Beast is spending millions per episode, like why can't a design media company invest a little bit into some quality storytelling? Like guys, let's be honest, Lanier's conversations in quality should have been incredible. Like Lanier is the beacon of craft. The people they had on there, Kevin Toohey and the other folks are amazing. And the conversations put me to sleep, dude. They didn't show anything. I didn't leave that going, oh my God, that was like this game changer, this unlock for me. I feel like this is so incredible. I can apply this stuff. No, it was like, this felt commercial. It felt like someone in marketing planned the thing. And that's not what we need. I want to make this stuff approachable. You don't have to wear a black turtleneck to appreciate somebody doing dope shit. And I think that's a really important thing that we want to stay true to when we tell those stories.
I love that, man. That's you putting your money where your mouth is for the community. I mean, if I felt like spending 20 grand, I'd probably just go buy another watch or something.
I knew when I told you, I was like, I'm going to do this. And your face was like, whoo, this is a heck of a time to do that.
I was like, Tommy. That's not how I'm spending 20 grand. Have you seen the economy lately?
I mean, yeah, trust me. It makes me nervous. I have my daughter on the way in August and we're just, the momentum on this thing, like it grew quickly. What's cool and also terrifying that I'm finding out, and I'm like right in the middle of learning this, so I don't really know what to do with it, is that lately the doors I've knocked on have all opened up. And I did not expect that. Sometimes it's a numbers game. You knock on some doors, you throw some stuff out. Everybody's excited about it. And I'm like, okay, like now I got to show up. And it's terrifying. So
love it.
Yeah. More info to come. But the series is called This Is Taste. And on that note, I do want to do
Taste.
This Is Taste. Working title. Maybe it ends up.
On that note, Ugmonk is taste. Go by Ugmonk.
There it is. Unofficial sponsor of the first episode. This is Taste. Please.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you are looking for designers who are sick storytellers, I do have to give a quick shout out to our boy Devin Matthews. My God, this art director out of Utah, working for Buck Studio. All right. 2 weeks ago, drops. Let's go back to this. 2 weeks ago, drops the sandwich episode. Has 0 subscribers, blows up to 50K, gets over 500,000. It's almost at 350,000 views on episode 1. He made this entire series himself. He's dropping an episode every other week. Just today dropped The Rock. Said they went out, they disappeared into the mountains 4 days to make whatever this is. This is a designer documenting his journey to find creative fulfillment again. And it's incredible how he's doing it. If you're tired of all the design drama and you want some just food for the soul, you need to go check out Super Ordinary.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Do you think he's spending 20,000 an episode?
Dude, I made the decision to film this whole thing, and then I went and watched his. So all the designers who like, you get imposter syndrome when you see dope work and it makes you not want to do things. I watched his and I go, oh, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't do any of this. Like and it immediately crushed me. And then I kind of picked myself back up and I was like, awesome. I'm going to be inspired by him. There are things I love about what he's doing, things I would do differently. Like, what can I learn here? And I'm just going to keep going, man. And I'm very nervous. I don't know if the end product's going to be what I hope it is, but no, I don't think he's spending 20K, but I do think he's spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
Dude,
I speaking of 20K and time, I do want to do some self promo real quick, and I don't care how you feel about it.
Oh, hell yeah.
My boy Penn and Noel, we're dropping the brand for the space. I spent way more than 20K on the space, but it's going to open up here in Chicago on May the 5th. We're going to do 16 spots, and I'm curious how you feel about this, Tommy. It's funny because like the backstory behind the space is that I have 2 small children at home. We have a very open home. I don't have a closed office at home. So I said, you know what? I need an office. And I fell in love with this space. And so I was like, screw it. I want this space. It's like 6,000 square feet for 2
Outpost
people.
Is a dope name, by the way.
Thank you, dude. You want to see more of the brand? We'll make this a little designy.
Yes, a brand reveal.
I'll do a brand reveal. You tell me if we stole any of these from anybody. Maybe I'll get Twitter beef. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. We got some dope shit. Do we need to have a full brand guideline for this space? No. Do we? Yes. Outpost.
Yeah.
Man. We got this funky custom word mark vibing. Yeah, dude. Just it's properly aligned. Don't you doubt. This is what we're going with. Using Aonic for most of the typography. Got these cool little signage.
Mm-hmm.
Got these little cards here. This little navigator, little map guide there. Dude, this is it. About to place an order for all these sweet coffee mugs and a bunch of other crazy stuff.
Oh, you gonna get any shirts?
I don't know. My thing with the shirts, dude, is like, if I buy them, I want to wear them all the time. And I find that most of the places that do like mass printing, like don't do a good job of quality. And I don't know, man. I haven't solved that. But anyways, here's what I'm thinking. So we got 16 spots. My walls are glass, right? And so I get distracted. You'll probably see me on the show. Look, when somebody's like walking by or doing something. I don't want any fucking weirdos in here. Like I don't want any Devin Fountains in here. You know what I'm saying? So my thinking is that it's like a really tight application process. And I just like, I don't know, but I want to fill it up with 16 dope people. I'm going to do office hours. So if you're here and you're like a member, I'm hook it up. Like you got questions, pop in my office. Let's chat. Like, let me help give you any advice that I can. So that's what I'm putting together. Gonna do some events. Gonna try and do some framer events. Gonna give everybody free Ugmonk swag. You know, we're gonna get it going in here. But May 5th, that's when we're doing it.
Okay.
I don't have a domain yet. I need to figure out the right domain.
Outpost HQ or something.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
a little
yet, dude.
redundant, isn't it?
I don't know.
Outpost HQ headquarters?
I don't
What's the
know.
most redundant?
Out
Outpost.
outpost would be the most redundant. Yeah.
That's sick though. I love that. And man, if I wanted to lose a ton of money, I would open up a physical location here too, and then turn it into like a coffee joint with like studios, and then like feel like, yeah, I'm gonna build something great, and then just watch margins evaporate.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
You blink and $250,000 is gone. So I don't recommend it. But I got a really nice bookshelf.
all that's a really expensive, yeah, stream setup that you invested in there, Hunter.
I built this shit myself, man. Designed it and built it myself. I did.
Um, Well, I think it's sick that you've got that going on, and I need to come out there and need to do like a live episode. Like, oh, dude, a live episode,
Oh, yeah,
so
dude.
great.
We should have a release notes party. For welcome to any and all viewers that want to stop by. That'd be sick. Like a release notes hackathon.
How many viewers do you think we actually have in Chicago there?
I have no idea. If you're in Chicago or within a 2-hour drive of Chicago, let me know. What kind of table saw do I have? I have a DeWalt table saw. Thank you very much.
There you go. Nicely done. Kind of interesting though. So we're gonna move on to some topics here because I don't know if you've seen the like Figma website screenshot that was leaking a couple weeks ago. That was cute. You know, I was like, okay, that's cute. But like leaks are taking on a different form right now, and I'm kind of impressed by Jane here. So Jane Wong.
Mansion Wong. That's a cool name.
So she leaks, hey, Figma's working on an AI app maker. Breaks down some screenshots, some of the mechanics powered by Claude. And she's doing this with a couple of things. Notion is working on meeting notes. Notion coming for the granola space makes a lot of sense. I right now have granola feeding directly into my Notion database. And I asked her, so I DM'd her. I'm not going to share the DMs, but I said, hey, I want to talk about this. How did you find this information? Because it seems pretty random. She says, the woman scooping Silicon Valley, BBC, Forbes 30 under 30. She's an engineer, X Threads, Instagram. And she said, I just dug into the source code and found little remnants of things. So that's her claim. She's finding source code identifiers somewhere that indicate these are features, and maybe she's able to like bring them up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
She's not sharing a lot of the source code from what I've seen that she found that showed this stuff. But if true, and I'm compelled to believe that these are some pretty, indicative leaks. Pretty wild.
Cool.
Figma for sites, Figma working on grids for auto layout. Okay. Like going framer a bit here, right?
I mean, this goes back to what we were talking about last week with Canva and their site generator.
Yeah.
Man, I just think everybody's building the same thing,
Yeah.
and it goes back to a question of retention. I saw a tweet earlier today. It said something to the tune of, all I hear about is how fast Lovable is growing, but I never see any projects built with Lovable. And I thought that was interesting. Quick shout out, Wes. I don't know if you're being a smart ass, but the benefit is it's just my office, so I'm going to pay for it anyways. Me and Adrian Fortuna are just 40 hours away. That's what planes are for. Jane is a legend. Yes, she is. She has a cool name. Campsite acquisition makes sense if they're going for meetings. I think that was an acqui-hire, Tom. I think Campsite wasn't doing great, but I could be wrong. But God, those guys are good at what they do. I'm excited to see how they contribute to Notion.
Can we do a quick, I know you're going through the comments, but while we got Tom Johnson pulled up, just a quick shout out to my boy Tom Johnson, okay? I want to just call this out, Tom, because I thought this was awesome that you were doing, in keeping with just celebrating how dope you guys are. Tom, is a working designer, head of design at Base Dash, has been doing some dope stuff, and just started sharing his process for working with Unicorn Studio and Framer, and in a raw video, and I'm trying to pull it up here, in some raw videos that he just shared to X, not playing the algorithm game, just like, hey guys, I had a couple minutes for lunch and I'm going to show you my workflow here. He's just breaking down, and I think you just pushed another video, some of his design workflows. And this is specifically why out of all the social networks that I'm a part of and have hundreds of thousands of followers on, X, which is the social network that I have, 9,000 followers on, I spend the most time here because I find, not without its warts, that X has the most quality and signal design content out there. And mainly
Yeah.
it's the people. It's people like Tom who are not playing the algorithm. They're working to solve some really interesting challenges. And then they're just like, oh, by the way, here's like a dope workflow. Let me show you. This is what I want things to be. This is cool to me. And I highly suggest anybody who's just interested in seeing a dope designer do some work, check out some of his videos.
Tom is the man.
He is.
I want to touch on this real quick because this just annoyed me, Johnny. Jean doesn't do anything that anybody couldn't do. It's all out there. She just snoops around enough. Not to flame you, but this is an absolute useless comment because what you're saying is that she actually is doing something that other people aren't doing. She's doing the work. She's spending her time to find this information and share it with us. So don't say reductive stuff like this, man. Not a fan.
Yeah, I miss designers recognizing just doing the work. That's why I have a community. You guys don't know about it unless you know about it because you have to do some work to find it. You have to do some work.
Tommy's.framer.com.
God damn it.
Boom. Shout out to Tommy for pushing me to share it. Hype man for real.
Not, and that's not actually, that's the incorrect URL. He shared the wrong one.
That word about the horse with the horn is banned on this show. So shh.
Oh no.
Just DM whoever built it.
Video. Hey, oh, by the way, old UX Tools, we've got weekly leaks on Friday. And if you were part of the newsletter, we had our first weekly leaks where Paper is about to announce some beta early access invites, getting them over on UX Tools. Also have some stuff coming up very similar to that. Might be Unicorn Studio invites as well. These are little early access leaks that I'm trying to work with some of the founders to get to you guys. So if you're interested, sign up.
So Devin says Hunter knows about Tommy's Discord but isn't on it. Coincidence. I want to talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna read some little bit of release notes drama here. This is not a dunk on Tommy because Tommy's the best. But Tommy texted me, after the show last Friday, which we'd already told you, fine folks, that we were going live today. He goes, I don't think we should go live Tuesday. He's like, I got a lot of stuff to do next week, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay. And then today I said, we're going live. We said we'd launch Made By, didn't. Said we'd launch Discord, didn't. Said we'd ship the newsletter by now, didn't. We've got to stick to our word if we want to build a community. So I said, so the reason I'm not on Tommy's Discord at tommysframerwebsite.com or whatever the fuck it is, use some variation of that, you'll find it. It's because we still owe you a Discord and I don't have the mental bandwidth for 2 Discords. So I'm abstaining until Tommy puts together the full-fledged badass release notes Discord.
To be fair, this is the first I'm hearing that you still want to continue with the Discord, but it's available and ready.
Dude, I'm going to leave this show before it's even over.
I know. What if we cancel 2 shows this week? What if 2 shows drop this week?
We're about to start drama because Zach just said, I'm your dad. Look at this beard going on today, Zach. Although to be honest, Tommy's got the mustache. He's kind of dadding up right now.
Well, we kind of have addressed the flexible initiatives we've been working with last week, but we'll say it again. A lot of things are still moving and we're still here and we're very excited about all the things we're working on. Sometimes it's going to flex a little bit and we're going to let you know. We're just going to share it with you. But yeah, we do have some fun stuff coming and he's like, yo, let's go live today. I'm like, let's do it.
Why are you going to bring Reese into this, Devin?
The white designer.
Have you seen enough from design Twitter lately? Don't bring Reese into this stuff, dude. This isn't friendly fire. This is just accountability. You gotta hold your close friends accountable. That's how life works, guys.
I have no hard feelings when I get held accountable, and it's fine. And that's why we're here today, actually.
I don't know what this means. Get Hunter in and give him less rights. Oh, Discord rights. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, next topic. Got another banger for you.
Let's hear it.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't actually have one,
Mm.
but I did see that they announced the trailer for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster.
Yeah, that's a remaster, right? Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but here's my question. This is an actual topic for the show. Do you think that they decided to move forward with the remaster because AI made it easier for them? Or do you think it's unrelated?
Mm.
My suspicion is that Bethesda was like, we could do this pretty quickly, if we had AI help us make some money.
Elder Scrolls seems to me like it would be one of the better candidates for some of those tools that we've been hearing about that are AI powered world generators. Have you seen these like maps
Yep.
that are being generated by AI? And I'm trying to find Soleo tweeted one of the companies they're looking for a designer right now. And I think that's sick. And I was like, man, that would be awesome if Elder Scrolls like was at least playing with that to see what that could look like.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I like it.
But I think so, man. I think like you guys want to know something? I may or may not have pulled up an old startup of mine just to see what AI would do with it. Old repo of code there, just to kind of play around with it. And it's kind of fun to do that with some of your old projects to just see, how you could accelerate on it today. It's kind of mind blowing, really.
Hell yeah, dude. I like it.
You got any old
Cool.
code repos you've like messed around with?
No, why would I do that? I would start new code repos. The last thing I want AI to do is go into some
the
old
explorer
repo.
in you, Hunter?
The uncharted territory. New. I don't want to go revisit my ex-girlfriend. Like, no, thank you.
That's not a good analogy.
It's exactly what you just said.
No.
That's what you just said. You just said
There's
I got some money.
noteworthiness.
I'm not even gonna go where I'm about to go. Never mind. I'm gonna go ahead. Whoop. Bye.
Mask off on the show, Hunter. Let's go.
Nah, dude. That was a good joke. That was a really good. I had some heat coming your way. I just decided to put it away.
Our Tuesday shows are going to be an hour long, guys, and they're just these nice
they're
little
2 hours. They're gonna be 2 hours.
2 hours
This one's an hour.
Tuesdays.
Yeah. 2 hour Tuesdays.
2 hour Tuesdays. I'm learning
2
live.
hour Tuesdays. 4 hour Fridays.
What?
Oh, I got a better idea. Two guest Tuesdays, 4 guest Fridays.
4 guests on Fridays.
Yeah, this Friday we got Alexis Ohanian. We've got what?
Brian Johnson.
No, for real, we're gonna have hot take. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this not because I agree with what Devin said, but because Devin just said one of my favorite words and reminded me that Devin has an expansive vocabulary. Devin used the word milk toast, which is one of my favorite words because it is the perfect word to describe somebody that is as exciting as watching fucking paint dry. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm just giving him props on his vocabulary. 24/7 live stream in the Outpost HQ. Dude, I've thought about that.
That's but Gary Vee kind of does that thing, and it's kind of like, like who do you want to just watch?
I don't know, dude.
You gotta mute the mic for a certain conversation. It's an interesting idea in theory.
So we never talked. You remember the PMF or die thing that they were doing?
Yeah.
So they gave up on it because I guess the 2 guys that were doing it couldn't get along in an apartment. Just spit on my monitor from laughing, and it's an Apple Studio display. So damn.
Yeah.
You need Zeiss lens cleaner and a microfiber cloth, and you're good to go.
Not sponsored.
They couldn't get along, and so they gave up on the show. But I thought that was an interesting concept. However, they didn't really go into like what they were doing, right? and that felt weird to me. And so I
Yeah.
am still kicking around the idea of like, if I wanted to go full steam ahead with the idea of giving AI control of a business, how would I properly document that? Otherwise, it's just going to feel clickbaity. So the only
Yeah.
thing I could think of is I'd have to really like do full live stream sessions of like the decision. Like I'd have to have a session to where I think what would happen is I'd say, hey, here's all the sources I'm connecting, the context I'm feeding the model.
Hmm.
Here's the conversation I'm having with the model, the strategy it's giving me. Okay, great. We're locking this in. We're getting rid of that. We're going to tweak this. Like that's what's happening here. And then that's kind of a live stream. And then you'd have to do like a weekly video that then
Just giving like,
happens.
here's progress and decisions, and yeah.
Here's us actually kind of
Yeah.
going through and doing this stuff. And now we're going to check back in the next week or something. I don't know. I got to keep thinking about it. But
Yeah, and I was giving this thought too, and I'm like, not every part of, because I'm doing it with my actual business, and it's like I'm not just using AI, I'm doing all kinds of things, and I realized like trying to just make it, hey, this is an AI experiment is the wrong lens. I'm just gonna share it weekly with you guys. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. I'm making a television show. I'm making a couple like different bundles or an annual survey that's coming out, or a whole redesign, working with like some of the heaviest hitters on Design X. And it's like, that is cool. And that's the stuff I'll share. And oh, by the way, sometimes like I'm using AI to do this or do that. And here's what that looks like. So I've decided I'm just going to continue to give a weekly update on like how I'm building up this design media company.
mm,
And, and that's probably what that'll look like. But I agree with your format. I think the upfront, like, here's how I've built up the foundation, and then a weekly
mm.
like check-in.
I think that could be cool. Yeah. I think that could be
Yeah,
cool.
I like it a lot.
Dude, hearing you talk about the show and stuff, I still can't figure out precisely what I want to do with Today in Design. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy UX tools and I'm going to say, Tommy, take Today in Design and figure out what to do with it as well. Just make it one thing.
You
You know?
know,
Let's
you
just do
know.
that. How much? How you for sale over there, big boy?
It's 7 figures. Let's go.
I'd have to do the math on that, but
I mean, like,
how much is 7 figures? Is that like $5,000?
no,
No. Okay. Fuck. I don't know
yeah.
if I can afford it. Chat. Let me know. Should I acquire UX tools? I'll put a
Big-
Tinder offer in today.
or just like, let's build it. Let's just build something beautiful. Let's just build something beautiful together, man.
Ooh.
You know?
So build two things independently and then merge them.
That's always in the books.
I like
What
this
do you think we're
idea.
doing today? What do we think? Everything we do, and this is a big part of my strategy. So for anyone listening and you're building your own businesses, like looking at what you're doing, and maybe there's not immediate leverage, which I think is the most important part, immediate leverage. But if there's secondary leverage that's available right around the corner, I think that stuff is worth weighing. And I try to have immediate or secondary leverage in most of the activities that I do.
Yeah.
So
Like it.
it's like maybe Release Notes and UX Tools has some sort of partnership that really works out in the future. Maybe, and that's an interesting. It's not the driving factor, but it's part of the equation.
You were saying fancier things ever since you propagated all your content to ChatGPT.
I've got a good mentor, man.
I'm just
I
telling it. I'm just calling out an observation there, bud.
Okay. I'm saying
right,
fancier
I liked
things
it.
like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
impressed. He's
Yeah.
impressed.
I'm impressed.
Hunter will remember this at the top
I
of the
will.
screen.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember this, dude. I
Yeah,
love
we'll
it. I
we'll
love
see.
these are going to be our Tuesday shoot the shit conversations. It's going to be good. Today was just a weird one, having to tackle into gradient gates and all that news. But
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it. Any other
yeah.
topics, chat, that you want us to touch on before we wrap up today?
I'd like
Anything?
these sessions to chat. I think that Tuesdays are the better format moving forward for you guys to just straight up ask us questions. I'm trying to convince Hunter that I want to have a hotline you guys can call in and do kind of an over the head just talk with us and ask some questions. Devin, maybe you can troll Hunter. I would appreciate it. And that's something that I think will happen on Tuesdays. But come with your questions, man. I think we want to talk about it.
I like it. Fave ice cream flavor needs to be
We did
decided
that.
on.
We
From
did it.
Alexis. Yeah, we did that last week.
Yeah.
Tommy's milk toast. He likes vanilla.
Actually, milk toast sounds like a pretty like there's a cinnamon toast crunch flavor to that.
Well, have you ever had ice cream from Milk Bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've had their cereal ice cream. So there
Yeah.
you go. I do have one thing. I saw on Twitter. I wouldn't say this is a humble brag, just something amusing. Hold on one second.
I'm trying to remember that chef's name who opened a milk bar. Korean guy.
Christina Tosi, David Chang.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
David Chan. That's true.
So I saw this getting tweeted on Twitter. This sweaty startup
Oh, yeah.
asking for some design feedback on his cover. My buddy Nick Huber, I don't think it was him. I think it was actually his assistant, sent me an advanced copy of this book. I haven't read it. He's got some good names on the back here. We got Sahil Bloom, Anthony Popliano, Andrew Wilkinson, Sean Purry, Cody Sanchez. What do we think about the cover of this book? Now, this is a design topic, so this is the cover of this book. I'm gonna grab something else. Just here's the cover of this book.
Cover
All right.
sucks.
Which one do we think is more interesting?
That one's way more interesting already. Yeah, like it's a no-brainer. Old
I
portrait.
think whoever designed this should be fired.
Yeah, I think it's bad. It's very Nick Huber though. I mean, it's very cost cutting.
Hey.
Very cost cutting.
Can't say that about Nick. He's a good guy.
Hey, I'm just saying that's how the man works.
Nick's a bigger
At least
Brett
he's
Williams.
a
What
Brett.
he
Yes,
is.
it's how he portrays how he works.
He's
as
a bigger
cost
Brett
cutter.
Williams. Yeah,
I'm not addressing Nick's controversies. I'm saying he's big on cost cutting. He's big on that's very Nick Huber. I don't think that's an inaccurate statement.
Klaus says, "Can this end already? I'm driving. Let's make this go another 45 minutes."
That's kind of backwards. Maybe fix that.
Yeah, that's called a mirror. It's called camera. I don't think we had any important questions from chat, which just I don't know, guys. I need you guys to level up the quality of questions happening here.
Needs gradient. Yeah. I know a pack actually. I know of a pack.
Was it free if you followed somebody and sent a DM, or did you have to pay $6 for it?
I went the $6 out. Yeah. No, I like this, guys. I do. Hunter, we're gonna do a phone number. We're gonna set up a hotline, I think, for call-ins.
All right, real talk before we drop. He's sharing more of it, so now I think we can talk about it a little bit. Create a task with priorities, copy paste. Now add a card with an attached image style. Blah blah blah.
Is that Pietro?
If I zoom in, can we still see? Yeah, this is Pietro.
Yes.
Can we still see if I blow it up?
That looks here. Keep it like that.
Yeah. So this is Pietro's design tool that he's
Yes.
going to be dropping soon. Let's see what's happening here. Add more cards so I can scroll vertically. Also add a card with an image attached. So it's generating a new artboard. Boom. Now this is all code too. So this is all the Tailwind React code. I think this generates TypeScript in Tailwind classes.
I believe that's what the demo.
Now he's
showed
saying
up.
make it look like a Windows 98 style.
Oh, dude, that's crazy, and that's all Tailwind utility too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's insane. Like I don't
This
think
is-
you guys realize. So Hunter and I got a preview of this, and we've been privy to some of this information thanks to Pietro. This tool is fucking wild. Like it's I truly believe this is finally one of the tools that fulfills the end-to-end promise of Visual Editor to like very quality code. I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to share more with you guys on this. This looks fun.
Hunter's AI tools course waitlist. Funds go to acquiring UX tools. You know, I just I don't think that
Can we talk about courses for a second? I have a take.
I was about to say I don't think I'm a course guy, but go ahead.
I don't think we're gonna do courses, man. We thought about this. We're like, oh, but like the truth is, for me, I could learn a lot from you, Hunter, and a lot of how you automate your operations. I think there's and even more than that. And I'm sure I could package something that's a helpful course for you guys too. Not interested. It's not exciting to me. I have a design course. I am debating sunsetting it. I don't talk about it. I'm not in the business of like selling courses. I'm not into it. It's not really how I want to run the
Mm.
business. But what I will say is I'm over here teaching my teenagers how to use AI, windsurf, a couple different tools. And I'm like, you know what? I need to make a course for them and their friends. And I'm actually working on that as a side project. And I'm going to release that completely for free. I think it's actually really beneficial to do a course for teenagers, for high schoolers who are just interested in like surface area touching a lot of these design and code tools. Make it free. And then I'm going to try to partner with like Windsurf and a few others to give those students, because they have student discounts for college kids. But I'm like, yo, do it for these high schoolers who don't have a .edu. And so I'm going to work with them to try to get at least some sort of token trials for all these students. So like that's cool to me. That's fucking interesting to me. Doing like a course as like a, AI bro is not for me.
Can we explore this though? Like
What is this
just out
one?
of well, out of curiosity, real quick. This is a road trip that I'm planning. But
Oh, this
I
is
want,
you've been putting work on this chat log.
yeah, it's dude. Honestly, planning a really nuanced, like off the road trip with like find obscure fly fishing spots and all this stuff. I am blown. It's maybe the most impressed I've been with AI, but that's a whole separate conversation. But um, there's this really cool use case. Now, my custom prompt for me, like my personalized prompt, is going to influence a lot of what I'm about to do here. Just going to
Right.
call that out. Shout out Andrew Chen
I
from
was about to say Andrew
A16Z.
Chen's like critical thinking prompt that he put out.
Yep. I took
Yes.
no, he shared his personalized prompts and I mixed and matched that with some of my stuff and I've been getting amazing results. But imagine you're creating a course on using AI development tools like Windsurf and Cursor
Hmm.
for a tech curious teenager. You want to take them from zero information to being very comfortable coding and with terminal
This is exactly what I'm
commands.
going to teach in the course, which is
Create a
how to have it create
simple
your own tutorials that are
5
exciting to you
days
for what you want to learn.
course. All right, let's just let it run real quick because I think the cool thing is um, you can actually do this for anything that you want to learn about.
Yes.
So this is kind of a super nerdy thing, maybe TMI about stupid travel stuff. But I have a Ford Raptor, and they have less payload capacity than like an average F-150 because the suspension's so crazy. And if you want to do like a rack and a rooftop tent and all this gear and stuff, you actually have to upgrade the coils,
Mhm.
the springs. And so I was having a conversation with O3 about like, hey, go read the internet, go look at this specific forum, like find everything you can. And it came back with some suggestions. And I was like, could I do this myself? Because I'm kind of handy with that, but I've never replaced the springs on a truck. So I had it create a course. I said, hey, like teach me step by step how the entire assembly works, how the live valve shock work, like how would I do this? And it was so cool. And so I think that you can kind of go nuts using AI to create these little courses for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of cool stuff here. Um,
I'm
and you
big
can,
right now. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say is you can take each section of this and you can have it dive deeper, have it go step by step. So what it's doing right now is it's saying like, hey, um, here's an outline of how I would build this, these workflows, whatever, and I could have it elaborate, and you can essentially create your own entire course. So maybe there's
Mhm.
some like more nuanced stuff if we're talking about, I don't know, making gradients that O3 is not going to be the best at. But that is super, super useful.
Huge.
So I think
Huge.
that's really
And
cool.
yeah, and I think the main thing is to just teach, what I'm teaching my kids is first like how to do some research. And I know that some people like Hunter, I don't think you're big on Perplexity, you just haven't used it a lot, but I really think Perplexity is like top tier for research. And they'll take that use that research and have it become part of my informed prompt over at ChatGPT and continue to do that. ChatGPT can browse and do all those things too, but I find Perplexity's synthesis of the search results to be top shelf. I don't think.
Should we go head to
anyone's
head right now? Perplexity versus O3.
Let's do it.
Let's do
What's
it.
the topic?
What do you want to chat? Give us a serious search that we want to do in
Like a stack. Here. Someone just asked a question in chat. Let's look it up. What is the best stack? Question.
as a designer.
What tech stack as a designer should I focus on? So I'm literally going to copy this question because that's like a perfect
Okay.
example. I have to type it because we can't copy it from the chat here.
Devin was talking mad shit about me real quick, so I'm just going to do this. Question: what tech stack as a designer should I focus on? V0, Claude, or Cursor? Question mark. There we go.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'm going to use O3. I'm going to search. You're using Perplexity. I'm using O3.
I'm not doing deep research. I'm just doing Perplexity with social turned on.
I didn't turn on social. I'm just turning on search.
It's fine. I mean, you do you, boo boo.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share what I got here.
Okay.
All right. We'll do O3 first, and then we'll look at Perplexity.
All right. What do you got?
Well, it's reasoning right now. It's exploring. Let's dive in deep into this. It's thinking. Do you already have a result?
I do.
Okay, so I know mine's gonna be better. I already know.
I did not. I didn't turn on deep research.
I don't have deep research on either. Don't alter your search. Don't do anything.
I'm not. I'm truly. I'm done. It's sitting. We're waiting for you.
All right, we're waiting. That's okay. Good things. Good things take time, baby. Good things take time.
Maybe.
You see how thorough this is being? Okay, here we go.
All right.
Hold on. Let it build. Okay. Thought for 54 seconds. V0. I got a table here. Course strength, designer UX, output stack, maturity community, pricing, when it shines, when it bites. TLDR, the opinionated take. Lean into V0 dev now, then later Claude Code for deeper engineering tasks. Treat Cursor as optional glue if you're living inside of VS Code all day. Why V0 should be your designer-led foundation. Designer to production path in minutes, opinionated modern stack, velocity and reusability, where Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Claude Code slot in, etc. Dude, this is a baller fucking answer. There's no way you beat this with Perplexity. Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
Here we go. Okay. done in 5 seconds, mind you, right?
Sure.
What tech stack to use? All right, so choose it. We got an overview, then we've got a table overview. So you get each one of these. The primary role it's better for, strengths for designers specific to each one of these. Then you get how each tool supports designers. So kind of a larger checklist for each tool. So we're getting pros. Which should you focus on? If you're primarily using it for UI products, it's giving stack recommendations.
Bro, it's not even answering your question. It's telling you to learn Figma.
I didn't interrupt you. So practical recommendations for 2025. All right. So this is a little useless. I concede to that. We get down here, summary table, focus areas for designers. UI, UX, it gives you a stack choice. So it's building stacks here. Why? Gives you the reason why. Bottom line, boom. By the way, all 76 sources cited. You can go look for yourself. 5 seconds.
All right, chat. Here's the question. Who do you think gave a better answer? O3 or Perplexity? Happy to share them both. I'll link to a Notion doc with both answers. I think O3 crushed that. I really do. I have started to use Perplexity in place of Google. But what I'll find often is that I want to Google because I want a list of links because I want to do some deeper research myself.
Right.
But anymore, I'll just tweak whatever it is I would type in Google and I'll ask O3 and I'll get a much better answer.
You know what Perplexity is the best at for me so far? This is a lame use case, but it's like you were recently doing this, looking for e-commerce recommendations, like whether it's clothing or tools or whatever. It's actually quite good. They have buying built into Perplexity. They have an entire shopping experience. What's that? Say more.
I just don't like Perplexity. I don't really love it. I think their design team is cracked out of their minds. But the product itself, I just find I have a better experience in going straight to the model.
Okay. Okay.
You know, that's it.
I, uh,
That's just my
I
take.
like I like to use it for the research part, and like I said, then take it over to model of choice and get the remainder of the output I need from it. So that's my current workflow. By the way, I have a question. I was watching you use ChatGPT. You're inside of there with your prompts. You've got a log, chat log for your trip. Where are you recording all the takeaways from that conversation? Are you just keeping them in there and you just scroll that conversation for like the takeaway you need?
Well, when you say takeaways, what do you mean? So,
Like
for
you don't want everything out of that trip chat log. You want pieces of it.
well, you can
It's a
copy.
No, I know you can copy it. What I'm saying is, where are you copying it to?
I don't want to answer that question.
We struck gold, chat. We struck some gold over here.
I
A man's
don't
working
want to
on
answer that
something
question.
exciting, he says.
No, no, no. I'm not. I just don't want to. I don't want to give you the satisfaction of me telling you where I'm pasting it.
Oh, because he's using Notion.
Not cannot confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Yes, we did. We got him. We got him, chat. You heard it here first.
Can't do it.
Hunter is sponsored by Notion. Boom.
Here we go. I'm currently typing on an Apple Magic Keyboard until my knob arrives. Work Louder says, soon, Devin, soon. Here's my question. When did Tommy and I get knobs to type on and play with and review live on the show? That's what I want.
I do have the Framer collab coming, so that's separate. But knobs look nice. Yeah.
I have the what's the other one? I have the other one. You know, the other one, the big one. I can't remember what it's called.
The Work Louder keyboard?
Yeah, I've got the big one.
I don't remember.
I have it in clear. The Nomad. I have the Nomad in clear. The Nomad E. My only complaint for me, because I use a what is this fucking thing? I use a Mode keyboard, Mode Sonnet. I love the build quality of the Work Louder keyboard. I think it's great, actually. I got an Alter One. I literally wanted to set it on fire. It was such a piece of shit.
Isn't it good?
No,
I saw some good keycaps. I saw a good cap kit, which was for it was like Severance themed. I was like, ooh, that's kind of nice.
That's sick.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the position of the keys. There's not enough space.
Okay.
They're like right there. So I find it's like it's tough to learn how to type really quickly on it right off the bat. For me personally,
Right.
Have you had that experience, or you?
With what?
With Work Louder.
I don't have a Work Louder keyboard. I have the mini. I have the mini one.
Oh, you've only ordered it. You haven't gotten the.
Oh yeah, the Work Louder the Framer collab is not here yet. That is I think slated for summer. It's pre-ordered right now.
Sorry, so you had the little accessory thing,
Yes,
not the actual keyboard itself.
Not the actual keyboard.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
Dude, their Framer collab and even the little Figma themed board, I fucking love it. I think it's so sick.
I think it's cool, man, and I love like this physical product. Like Ugmonk, dude, get some collabs going, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like get some community things going like that. That stuff is sick. Now I know it's not like an easy ask because now you got to think of like a new product and it's got all the things you have to solve for. But I wonder if there are like little collabs like that. That would be dope. I think more brands in the design community should collab like this. Actually,
Can I
think
tell you an idea we were talking about this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about the concept of doing drops, to where you can work with off menu and X designer. We're doing like 2 engagements. It's a special drop collaboration. We had that idea. Just how sick would it be? Like how crazy would it be if you could do like an off menu collab with like Gil Huibrecht, for example? Like that'd be crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that not happen in the community? Like agencies or freelancers partner all the time, but it's usually hush hush. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird, but I think you are starting to see that with Soren Iverson and Fonz. I think the two of them are a little ahead of that game. But I agree, there is like a sense of it seems like it's gatekeepy at first, but I do think there is this like I think there's still a discomfort for some brands to talk about some of their projects early in that build in public way, especially like the larger you get, there's a lot of stakeholders that have to sign off on things and it gets messy. You know, when really it's like, yeah, Framer and Contra totally get it. Partner with Fonz, release some collab stuff, or partner with an agency and talk about it. So I love it. I think there should be more. I think there are forward thinking companies that are investing in that, both as like marketing and we get product benefit out of it. And I think there's a couple of studios, but not a lot, who are trying to position themselves to be that partner. And Fonz and
Mm.
Soren are two that come to mind.
But are they doing like collaborative drops of their designers?
Collaborative, like, so I guess maybe that part of it I don't totally understand, like the collaborative drops of specific designers, like come and work on this, like so I hired Nick Pattison, Fonz, and a couple of other, like Tito, a couple of great designers, and that seems like a cool package drop. Are you suggesting something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know that
intentionally packaged, marketed, and sold is like, this
right.
is your opportunity to work with A, B, and C together at the same time.
And
Right.
it's a distribution effort as well as like a product or a design effort, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a limited time thing. It's like 3 projects that they're gonna do, like whatever it is. I think that'd be cool.
I think it'd be super sick. And off menu, if you guys drove that, would be dope.
Work Ladder says collabs take us a long time to line up. Figma took us almost 2 years. Framer took a year from talks to launch. Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
crazy.
these are big lifts, man. And you guys are clearly like carving out a pathway for it. I mean,
Yeah.
shaving almost 50% off of the first collab to the second, that's pretty good progress, I think.
That is good progress. I wonder if that has a lot to do with who they were collabing with, though. At the same time,
Right.
I think that could be a case. Sweet dude, this is great. What else we got? Anything else?
I think that's it for our Tuesday here, guys.
I think that's Tuesday.
Yeah. So stop DMing me about the situation that we talked about. We spoke on it. It's the last we'll speak on it. And then all the other fun designers that we platformed today. That's what I think we should focus on. There's some good stuff out there. We will see you guys on Friday. We've got some dope guests and some more topics, and maybe Devin will troll Hunter again.
I don't think he trolled me.
I think Devin's always trolling you.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He does it. He does it from a place of love.
All right. Well, we will see you guys on Friday.